Hi, Kubrick Lover 1972, back with another video. I think we're up to 59 now. So now we're onto the middle bookcase in my room, in my living room. I've covered all the DVDs and Blu-rays on one of the bookcases, and on the other side, the other bookcase, I covered those quite a while back. So now we're onto the middle bookcase, and after that bookcase, we'll do the towers. We'll do the boxes, and then we'll finish off with Seinfeld. I think that's the way I'm going to go with it. So anyways, let's get into it. So again, I mentioned in the previous video that I've gone to some horror conventions. And anyways, I got this at one of them. Tony Moran is in this. I think he played. Did he play the first Mike Myers in Halloween? I think that's the guy. Anyways, he signed it. Right up there, right up here. And some other autographs as well. Just another horror film. I've watched this. I guess they're looking for paranormal activity in a house or something like that. I haven't watched it in a while, so that's provoked. This one, visually it's interesting. I'd like to see another one of his films. I can't remember what it's called. The director's name is Tarsum Singh, and he directed another film, but I can't recall the title. If you know, write it down there. But this particular one I have is The Cell with Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, and Vincent D'Onofrio. She goes into this like a psychopath's mind because he's also in the mind of somebody else or something like that. And I think she's a psychiatrist or something. So it's got some neat visual images in the film. Maybe I've only watched this once, or maybe a few times. So I can't really remember the special features that well. There's some commentaries about the director, production team, documentary, visual effects vignettes, alternate angles, storyboards, the final scene. So I don't know. It was an okay film. Visually, it's kind of interesting in certain parts. This next film, I saw the women that were in this film at the horror convention last year, but I didn't have the DVD with me. So and at the booths at those conventions, they usually charge you some money. So I don't know. I mean, the thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre the year previous, they had two of the other actors that were in it, but they're going to charge money for you to have. And you can't blame them; they got to make money somehow. So, but you only have so much money, so you sort of got to deliberate. Who do I want to have sign my movie, my DVD or Blu-ray or poster, or what have you. So I don't know. It depends on who you are. So, but anyways, it's Evil Dead. This is, I think I like the sequel. I think the sequel's better, but I don't have the sequel. I think the sequel has like better production value. I guess people, I mean, at the panel this last year, rather, the women in this movie were talking about like how the cheesiness of this film is why people like this film so much, and they asked the audience, like, how many times have you seen this movie? And, like, they ask people like, have you seen this movie 20 times, 30 times, 50 times? And there were a few people that had their hands up like for the 50th viewing or what have you. But they're movies I watch over and over again. So, I love to watch movies over again. I'd like to watch some movies of mine that I have never seen before, my blind buys. But I love watching movies over again as well. So anyways, that's Evil Dead. This one I picked up at a horror convention. Was it the same year? I think it was the following year. Again, it's autographed. I watched, I don't know if you saw the whole thing. It's a group of people that live in this house. Maybe they're vampires. And they put up an ad for a person to come to live in the house, and he comes there. And I don't think I saw the ending of this, but I'm not sure. I'm sort of going faster through these DVDs and through these movies and Blu-rays. But anyways, I got two Lord of the Rings documentaries, and this is one of them. This is Ringers, Lord of the Rings fans, one book, one ring, one world. It's got narrated by Dominic Monaghan, who was one of the hobbits in the Lord of the Rings films. The other Lord of the Rings documentary is about the movie composer Howard Shore, who composed the soundtrack for these films. So I haven't looked at this. It's just $3, so why not buy it? Next up, Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Francis Ford Coppola made this movie. I don't know if it's a fantastic movie, but I like the visual look of it. I like the women that live at Dracula's castle. They're kind of interesting. Dracula himself. Maybe the ending I didn't find that fantastic. I don't know. It's an okay movie. I'll probably pop it in the player one of these days. I enjoy it. These next two movies were my mother's. One of them I've seen ad infinitum, but this one I have not. I've seen clips from them. From this one, I mean, which is The King and I with Yul Brynner and Deborah Carr. I guess maybe at some point I'll watch this. But she bought this in conjunction with another. In order to buy the other movie, she had to buy The King and I with it. So that's why I have this one. And then this is a movie my father and my mother loved. I think, my mother once told me that her favorite movie was Quo Vadis. I don't have that, but I don't know. I think the library nearby has it. Maybe I'm wrong on that. And I know she likes Snow White. I showed that in my Disney video. Snow White was the first movie she saw with her family. And they saw it in the theaters when it came out. But my father, mother, my grandmother, my aunts, I mean, they love this movie. Sound of Music. My father and mother, I think, like the song Edelweiss quite a bit. They really love this movie. They just think it's a pleasant, really charming movie. So it's a good movie, but I don't know if it's my favorite musical. My favorite musical, probably Singing in the Rain, I would say. And Rocky Horror Picture Show is not too bad. But yeah, Sound of Music. Next up, this is a movie. This is what Roger Ebert says, one of the best films you'll ever see. City of God, a Brazilian movie. I think it's based on a true story. 15 Miles from Paradise. One man will do anything to tell the world everything. So it's about this like lawless, um, poor society in Rio de Janeiro, and the main character sort of caught in the midst of this gang warfare, and he's a photographer, so he doesn't get enmeshed in the dealings of the gangs. So I think this is a true story. I'm not sure. Um, and there was a documentary it's on Netflix. I haven't watched it. I think I watched the first minute or something. I don't know why I stopped watching it. I want to watch it though. It's called something like City of God Revisited or something like that. And it tells you what's happened with the cast. I get maybe the crew too. 10 years after City of God was released. So, and then we have, I think we can fit in the second shelf of the bookcase in this video, so we can finish off the bookcases in this video. So, but this is the first shelf, the last one on the shelf. American Beauty. This is one of the first DVDs I ever had. I think my brother and his wife bought this for me. Got 3 hours of bonus features. Interviews with the award-winning cast and crew, film commentary with director Sam Mendes and writer Alan Ball. Alan Ball would later go on to create 6 Feet Under. Storyboard presentation with commentary by Mendes, the director Sam Mendes, and director of photography Conrad Hall, who's dead now, Conrad Hall. Sam Mendes also, he directed, which one did he direct first? I think he directed Skyfall, was his first James Bond movie, and then he directed Spectre, I believe. I think he directed Spectre. It's got a digital screenplay with corresponding film footage and storyboards, DVD-ROM only. I don't know if DVD-ROM is that relevant anymore, if it really is used it all that much. I've never really done it. I don't know how I can do it. I don't think modern computers can do them anymore. I don't know. 2 theatrical trailers, production notes, so it's got some nice pictures on the back. It's a nice film. The DVD just jumped out. Oh, it's not secure. It's not secure in here. It's broken a bit. But it won Best Picture when it came out. I think it won some other Oscars. Like, did Kevin Pollak win for this? Not Kevin Pollak. Kevin Spacey. I think Kevin Spacey won for this. But it's really interesting characters in the movie. The Kevin Spacey character sort of, well, it's like a pedophile, and he also is doesn't like his job. His wife is a real estate agent, and she's kind of bent on success and decorum and just being, putting up a like a good manners, kind of a good presentation of good grooming, very good just a very good trying to set good impression, like trying to not show your feelings, like stiff upper lip. I don't know if that's right, but and Kevin Spacey is kind of sick of her playing. I think it's Lawrence Welk on the stereo at their house, and the daughter is pretty pissed off. She doesn't. She does. I don't think she likes either of her parents, and she becomes friends with a neighbor in the street. I think his name is Ricky Fitz, his character. And his father is a Marine, played by Chris Cooper, and he's a pretty violent guy. And Allison Janney plays the wife of Chris Cooper's character. But it's a really good movie. Yeah. So, anyways, that's the first bookcase. That's the first shelf of the bookcase, and I think I can fit the other part of the other shelf of the bookcase in the same video. So I'm going to do that right now. So hang on. I'll be right back in just a sec. Okay, back with the rest of the video. I don't know how long this video is going to go. Maybe it won't go that long because I'm not talking about criterions and reading the back and getting into big explanation of why I'm into criterions. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go on pretty long here too. I don't know. Well, anyways, let's get back to the movies. This is just a fun movie, 2012. It's about the end of the world. If you see, Woody Harrelson right there, he plays this guy who is kind of a crazy person predicting the end of the world, and he's like a hippie kind of guy, and that's kind of funny, that part. John Cusack's the main character. Oliver Platt's in this. It says Danny Glover. Amanda Peet, I think, plays John Cusack's former wife. Tandy Newton. Oh, maybe she plays the president's daughter. I think Danny Glover's the president. And it's directed by Roland Emmerich, who I think directed Independence Day. I think so. If you know for sure, just put it down there. I'm pretty sure on that. I wasn't a big fan of Independence Day, but this was kind of fun. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's from a standpoint of just pure fun. It's okay, look at this. A tsunami in the Himalayas. That's ridiculous, but if you don't approach it that way, if you just approach it as a fun movie, buildings, California coastline going into the water from earthquakes and buildings. They're John Cusack in a plane with his family with his wife's new husband flying the plane in L.A. and they're dodging skyscrapers falling to the ground. Just ridiculous but funny. And just. Anyways, it's a fun movie. This one, I don't know if I showed the movie that it's based on. I don't think I did. Yeah. Maybe I showed this. I can't remember if I showed this on DVDs I picked up a few months ago. I can't remember. I'll just briefly talk about this. Shadow the Vampire. It's about Max Schreck, played by Willem Dafoe, who plays Nosferatu, which is and this is John Malkovich, who plays F.W. Murnau, who directs the first Dracula film, but they can't call it Dracula at that time period. It's based on a true story. They couldn't call it Dracula at the time period because Bram Stoker was alive and the copyright issues. So this is like a docudrama. It's not a documentary, but it's a retelling. It's Defoe and Malkovich playing real people from the silent era in German cinema, and part of the angle to this movie is that Willem Dafoe's character might be an actual vampire, I guess. It's got commentary, behind the scenes. I don't know if I've actually watched this. I've seen the movie before. I don't know if I've watched the actual disc, but this is a good movie. Next is a movie George Clooney, Matt Damon, Jeffrey Wright. I've never seen it before. I'd like to see it. I just don't know when. I guess it came from Blockbuster originally. Syriana. There's some other movies of George Clooney's I want to see. Actually, I don't know if maybe there's more than one, but there's only one other one I can think of, which I'd like to see as well, which is Michael Clayton. But I think both of them, Michael Clayton and Syriana, I don't know if Michael Clayton involves the Middle East, but they look pretty interesting. So, again, another film to watch out of my vast multitude of movies. Again, here we have two movies that have the, apocalyptic kind of themes to them. One's Day After Tomorrow. I think I've seen the trailer to this, and then The Happening, which I think is M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan. Speaking of M. Night Shyamalan, there's, some people have said like his films have got worse since The Sixth Sense. I wasn't a big fan of The Sixth Sense. But I did like The Village. I thought that was a pretty good film. I don't have it. I thought of buying it, but anyways, this is, you get two movies for $3, so why not get them? Day After Tomorrow, Happening. Looks interesting. So, and I see Jake Gyllenhaal's in this one with Dennis Quaid on The Day After Tomorrow. So, and you have Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. So, at some point I'll look at these. This movie I have watched the DVD of. I've seen it in the theaters. I really liked it a lot. The Revenant, directed by Alejandro G. Inarritu, and the cinematography was done by Emmanuel Lubetsky. It doesn't say, I don't think the cinematographer is mentioned here. And of course the stars, Leonardo DiCaprio, who won his Oscar for this, and Tom Hardy as the villain. About mountain men. And the plot is basically the Tom Hardy character. He makes the group of frontiers people or outdoor mountain men people that are with him think that the DiCaprio character is dead, and the Tom Hardy character kills the DiCaprio's character's son, who's a half in Native American, half white person, half white guy, and but anyways, he gets Leonardo DiCaprio's comes to. He doesn't die, and you see how that unfolds, and it's pretty riveting kind of film, and beautifully shot, and beautiful music, and just great movie to watch. Highly recommend this, and that's a Blu-ray. Just beautiful. This movie is pretty awful. I bought it. I got it cheap again, and maybe it's kind of amusingly awful. Showgirls. I don't know if there's more than one version of this, but it's pretty bad. Maybe it's amusingly bad. Maybe it's kind of entertainingly bad. That some people, I think, enjoy this. Of course, it was an NC-17 movie. and it was a film that was made. It was written by Joe Esterhaus, who wrote Basic Instinct, and directed by the same director of Basic Instinct, same guy who directed RoboCop, Paul Verhoeven, and Paul Verhoeven also directed Starship Troopers. He directed, I think it's called Little Black Book, which is a Dutch movie, which they say is good. He directed a new film. What's it called? It's with Isabelle Huppert. I haven't seen it. I don't go to the movie theaters that much because it's a little hard. My rent here is a little expensive, and the theaters are not cheap. So maybe if I go at a cheaper day or something like that, I could see more movies. But I got movies here. I don't know. Anyways, this is I don't know. It's in a way it's so bad. It's good because it's so awful. Because it's entertainingly bad. It's not bad in the sense that it's boring bad and you just want it to end. I guess maybe you could think of this film like that, but it's got some kind of crazy stuff going on, and the acting's kind of hammy, so it might work to some degree. I don't know. Some people like this movie, some people don't. Of course, I don't think people like it because that it's a quality film. I think they like it because of its how bad it is and how amusingly bad it is. So, and then I don't know if I love all these superhero movies. I'm not really a big fan of all these. I don't know. Just I've watched some of these movies, these Marvel movies and DC movies. I like Batman Begins. I like The Dark Knight. I didn't care for Dark Knight Rises. I showed those. I have a documentary on, not a document, a video. One of my entire DVD, Blu-ray, collection videos. I have one on Christopher Nolan, and I talk about the Batman movies in that one. But another superhero movie I like a lot, and this is an old one, Superman the movie, directed by Richard Donner. There's a commentary, music only, 3 behind-the-scenes stuff, which is hosted by the guy who played Jimmy, one of the guys that works at the Daily Planet. And Richard Donner was asked by, what's their names, Ilya Salkind, Alexander and Ilya Salkind, basically. They asked Richard Donner to direct Superman 1 and 2, and he shot both of them, I think, back to back. And they weren't too pleased with Superman 2, so they re-edited it, and they hired a new director for it, which was Richard Lester. He directed Hard Day's Night of the Beatles. I thought of buying that. There's a Criterion of Hard Day's Night by the Beatles, but anyways, he was hired to redo Superman 2, and there is a release of Superman 2, the Donner cut. I think my library where I work has that cut. But anyways, I enjoy this movie. The screenwriter for this film was a guy, what's his name? It has a whole bunch of screenwriters. The creative consultant, his name, he was called, but Tom Mankiewicz. He really steered this film, made the story really good, because I think this whole film had a lot of writers on it. One of them being Mario Puzo. He came up with the story, I guess, but Tom Mankiewicz was important to this film, as I learned on the commentary. He's on the commentary with Richard Donner, and anyways, they realized as they were going to make this movie, they had to create like an air of corniness to it, sort of. Um, like the characters had to be a little, uh, I don't know, corny or um, they had to have a certain way of being shown, because so it could be, the context could make sense. So that's why the characters are the way they are. Like Lex Luthor and his bumbling assistant Otis, played by Ned Beatty. So it's got the comedy to it, like where they're planting missiles in California. So it's got like a comic comic element to it. You see it when Superman's flying around Metropolis, going against criminals, like a guy with suction cups going up a building, and guys stealing money, and they're in a boat, and one of the guys takes a metal bar and hits Superman. And so it has kind of like a corny kind of humor to it, but that's what makes it, Superman. That's what makes the movie a charming movie to watch, and it's got a great score, obviously, by John Williams. So it's really got it's a really good movie, really good actors. You got Gene Hackman, you got Ned Beatty, you got Marlon Brando at the start here. Excellent starting. Where Superman as a boy, as a baby rather, Kal-El escapes Krypton before it explodes. So this is a good movie. This one I bought. This is with Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. I think this is the one. Because I think I see a picture of it. Right. Wait a minute. Right there. Right there. Where he goes down a skyscraper. He slides down a skyscraper, and Tom Cruise, I think, likes to do a lot of his own stunts, so it's pretty wild to watch. But that's why I got this, and I bought this cheap, like a few dollars or something. Next up is a really good movie. I'd like to listen to the commentary at some point. I don't know if I want the special features, but it's an excellent movie. Apocalypto, directed by Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is a regular person, like with this controversy that happened in Hollywood. I guess he was drunk maybe, or some of the comments he said were anti-Semitic or whatever. But as a director, just as a director, he's a really good director. I did see The Passion of the Christ. I didn't really care for it that much. I like Last Temptation of Christ by Scorsese. I like The Passion According to St. Matthew by Pasolini. But I thought this was really good. Just like in Passion of the Christ, in this film, he's having the actual, I think they're Mayans, or Mayans. He's having the Mayan characters speak in the actual language that they did at the time period when this film was set. So this film was set just before the Europeans colonized America, and South America, North America, all of America. And anyways, you see this group of Mayans kidnapped and taken to another Mayan civilization, another Mayan village. But it's incredible. Visually, it's unbelievable to watch. And I don't know if I should give too much away, but I mean, when they come to this pyramid, there's this act that's done, and it's just unbelievable how it's done. There's this. I don't know if I should say anything. I don't think I will. But I'll just show you this right here. Wait a minute. This guy right here. He does something in the film that might be shocking to some people, might be too violent or too hard to look at. But I like the fact that no holds barred looks at the Mayans and what their civilization was like, whether you agree with it or not. Oh, and it's got. Well, I don't know if you agree with it. You don't have to agree with this kind of lifestyle, but it's just. What am I saying? It's it's just showing you how they lived. It's really good, well described way of how they actually lived in that kind of society and how they went about their daily business and what they believed in, and and it's got a commentary by writer, director, producer Mel Gibson and co-producer Farhad Safina. Deleted scene with commentary by Gibson and Safina, Becoming Mayan, Creating Apocalypto. So, really good movie. Next up, movie with Paul Newman, Eva Marie Saint, Ralph Richardson, Peter Lawford, Lee J. Cobb, Sal Mineo. Pretty good cast. Exodus, directed by Otto Preminger. I haven't watched this. I watched the trailer. I guess that's all it has is the trailer, besides the movie. The movie's long. It's 3 hours and 28 minutes. I enjoy a long movie, especially a good long movie. And I'm looking forward to watching this. Again, I picked this up for just a few dollars. So, and I'm thinking these days with streaming and people getting Blu-rays, or maybe not even. Sometimes I find Blu-rays cheap. I can just pick these movies up and take a look at them, because I just I love movies, so it's great to have access to them. And anyways, so here's the last one, Children of Men. It's based on a novel by P.D. James. Really, really good movie. The year 2027, the last days of the human race. No child has been born for 18 years. He must protect our only hope. So, it's a science fiction movie. It's got a really good use of a long take. What I mean by that is it's one long shot with no cuts at the start of the film. Actually, there's more than one of them. This is the guy, this Alfonso Cuarón, that directed this. I think he directed Gravity. Pretty sure he did. I think he directed Y Tu Mama También. Yeah, he did. And he directed Birdman. Birdman, I wasn't too wild about. But in the case of Birdman in this movie, he does this thing where he stitches together shots so it looks like one long continuous shot. So he'll take one image and join it with another image, and you can't tell that it's two different images, that it looks like one continuous shot. And he does this really well in this film. This has Clive Owen in it. It's got Julianne Moore and Michael Caine. Really good cast. It's kind of a dystopian society. So anyways, I could go on with some of these movies, but I don't want to go on forever and make these videos too long. Really good use of what the future would look like. What year would be 2027? You know, England in this film is kind of chaotic and not up to par like it is. Well, I've never been to England, but it's become like a third world country maybe, but it's more controlled or more other countries in the world are more chaotic at this time period. Not that England isn't bad at this time period in the movie, but anyways, it's Children of Men. So that finishes the bookcases, and I think I'll go on to the towers now in the next video. Then we'll handle the boxes, and then we'll do Seinfeld. I'm pretty sure we'll do it that way. And then that's it. And then, you know, at some point, I guess maybe I'll show you my book collection of movie books. I might even show you my other books that I have, like history books, you know, books on Japan, you know, other books. So anyways, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the views, and take care, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. All right. Okay, bye.